It's Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. And today we are going to pot up this fabulous lactea Crest that I received as a gift from Alex and Brandon. Thank you guys so much for this gorgeous creature. As I got set up and got my little needling pad, got down here on my hands and knees, though, I realized that I've got some housekeeping to do. I am not going to be able to focus on planting up that crest as long as this is in existence. I can't even. I'm so sorry, guys. Just give me a sec. This is so rewarding. Much better. All the little detrituses. I don't know, is it just me? Because, there's a lot. I mean, obviously, I can't keep every pine needle and every weed out of the garden at all times, and I don't need to. I really, really feel tremendous satisfaction from just tidying a very small space. I don't know, maybe that's just me. Oh, look. A little Grapto sedum leaf fell on the ground, rooted through my top dressing rock, and has started a baby plantlet. Today's special gift from the plant gods. Oh, there's another one right here too. Oh my gosh. I recommend getting down on the ground because this is an entirely different gardening experience. Oh my gosh, no way. Here, look. It's another one. Oh, man. Wow. What were we doing? Oh, yeah, the crest. Okay. From Alex and Brandon. So got it from them in the mail a few days ago, week, 2 weeks. It's a blur. I don't even know. But recently, and I've just kind of been hibernating with it, wanting to find just the perfect. Wanting to find just the perfect scenario. And it occurred to me that with all of the really pretty kind of purples in this thing, that this red pot is the winner, isn't it? Look at that. Hello. Now this echeveria that I have in here is kind of just a placeholder. It's not, it's pretty, but it's not, it's not a collectible. So I will just excavate the echeveria. I think I'm going to plant this. I'll plant this around the pond maybe. Yeah, with I'll probably shave off about this much of the root ball. Or maybe, I don't even know. Well, we won't worry about that. But at any rate, don't worry. That echeveria, wow, that looks really good right there too, doesn't it? Yep, there it is. I'm just going to dig a hole and plant it right here. I really like that. Okay. Okay. So, we have talked a lot over the years about, ew, that's a slug. Gross. Look how filthy that is. Yikes. Ugh. We've talked about soil, and I've apologized, for those of you that are avid viewers, thank you. You hear me say this too often, but for those that are new, remember our new followers, our new friends that are just tuning in, it's just really important because you know that soil can make or break you depending on where you live. Here in the land of milk and honey in San Diego, California, doesn't matter, but everywhere else in the world pretty much does. So make sure that you are using a cactus and succulent specific mix when you're potting up your succulents, as I use a general potting soil. But you know me, I buy whatever's on sale. Oh, and this little cactus right here, needs to be repotted. It's getting too big for this little container. So there's another project for us. And the one in the middle looks like toast. I think it's dead. So yeah, that's another project. There's no end. But because we are planting the lactea as a cutting, we want to make sure that we use dry soil. This has been hardened off. And when I say hardened off, get your minds out of the gutter. What I'm talking about is the wound. We don't want that to be fresh. We want that to be calloused. And it is. This has been sitting here for a minute. So it's fine. But I don't want to put it on a wet or damp substrate because I don't want to take a chance on it rotting from the base. That would be a disaster. And in my experience with the lacteas, they are pretty sensitive to, they don't love humidity at all, and they're sensitive to too much water, and they're prone to rot. I've actually killed one of these. So Alex and Brandon, pray for me. I'm going to do my best not to kill this one. By putting it in this pot in my special collectible garden area, I think my chances of killing it are very slim because it will be in my periphery all the time, and I will be a good mom, I promise. So you want to build your soil up in your pot and then press it down, compact it. Otherwise, the soil is going to settle and kind of decompose, and you're going to end up with a plant that's halfway down in the pot in just a few months to a year's time. So see, look at all the extra soil that I can put in there since I compacted. I cannot wait to see what this looks like. And I'm so excited to watch it flourish. You know, it's not that many plants that really are going to pop in a red pot, are there? So this is exciting. This plant was made for this red pot. Okay, that feels pretty good because I want to save room for my top dressing. Good. And I'll just, soften up the top there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to put the top dressing in first. I've got some blue fireglass, mixed blue. One of my main suppliers of fireglass is no longer carrying it, so it's been a little hard to come by lately, and clearly I'm going to need more, which I have over in the Pringley pot. I have it for days, so I will fluff this up and add some more to it. But I'm just a sucker for cactus. I know euphorbias aren't cactus, but it's cactus-like, and I love the cactus around the fireglass. I think it's a really magical look, but that is also very subjective. Top dressing is personal. You do you, by all means. I remember I top dressed a client's pots in Carlsbad, a bunch of them with fireglass, and they hated it. They said it reminded them of a disco ball, and I had to pick it all out and do something else. So I learned not to assume just because I love it that everybody else is going to as well. Okay, now here is the scientific method of planting succulents. Maybe I'll entitle this video Planting Succulents, the Scientific Method, right? What do I say, folks? If your succulent stands up, everybody. Didn't hear you up in the balcony. Thank you. You've done your job. That is correct. And for the sake, your sake, for those of you that are watching, I want it to look pretty for you, so I'll steal Rob from Peter here and pay Paul. I'll move the top dressing from the back to the front. And when you're adding top dressing, go a couple inches deep. Don't be cheap with it. Oh, this stuff is so pretty. How's that look, Greg?
Looks great.
Does it look great? Mm-hmm. It's not just fine.
No, this time is great.
Wow. Wow. Greg's go-to when I ask him, you know, like when I've done something really spectacular and I want him to stroke my ego. Greg, what do you think? Oh, it's fine, he says. I'm like, really? That's all? It's just fine? So for him to say great, it must really look good, guys. All right. So I would love to see your lacteas, and I want to hear your lactea stories. If you have this plant growing in your yard and you have had success with it, please let me know and tell me your tricks and tips. Where you live is helpful, so I have some sense of, you know, your climate. Also, if you have pictures and you would like to show them off, just slide into my DMs at Instagram, on Instagram at Laura Loves Succulents. I would love to see your plants. Looks like we need a little more top dressing over there, don't we? Well, I'm going to keep puttering around with this, and I will show it off consistently on Walkabout Wednesdays, and together we will see if Laura can indeed keep a Euphorbia lactea alive. This has been Laura Eubanks of Design for Serenity with your succulent tip of the day. Bye, guys.